your host Ruby Gill, and I feel honored to welcome you all on the behalf of lovely professional university. So, attendees, what do you think the essence of today's webinar? Well, I'm glad to share with much excitement that today our expert will share his expertise and make us learn about the topic which is entitled as Design Thinking for Product Development. I'm sure you must be as excited as I am to be the part of today's learning process, so kindly allow me to introduce our experts. Dr. Rajesh Verma, Professor, Dean, Middle School of Business, lovely professional university. An intellectual personality who has excelled in areas of market orientation, political marketing, business models, marketing research, strategic management. With an experience of 19 years, he has acted as a resource person in more than 35 secondary development programs and organized 8 national and international conferences and workshops of repute. To his credit, he has published 18 case studies and 50 research papers. Also, he has received Research Appreciation Award from Honorable Minister of Human Resource Development, Government of India. So, sir, it's a privilege to have you on board with us today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Additionally, I would like to welcome our admission expert, Mr. Pankaj Vij, Assistant Director, Head, Department of Tie-Ups, Division of Admissions, lovely professional university. With master's degree in management, he has a keen interest in the area of training and development. He is having more than 20 years of experience in multiple domains, including teaching, training, and operations. He has occupied strategic positions in multiple organizations of repute. And attendees today will give you an insight of eligibility fee and scholarships, which I'm sure will make you save a lot of money. And in addition to that, we'll also be sharing the infrastructure part of the university. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us today. So, with this, we'll begin today's webinar. I welcome you all once again and looking forward for a great interactive session. So, over to you, Dr. Rajesh Verma, for the content of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction and welcoming all the participants in this session. I also welcome you all to this session. And what I'll be talking about is design thinking for product development. And let me briefly tell you why is that I would like to talk on this topic. So the primary reason for topic I have chosen is that all of you are consumers, right? In one way or other, all of you are customers or consumers because you buy products and you use products, right? So you understand this, right? I don't want to make anything technical for you, but then you understand what product is, because every day you are either consuming a product or you are buying a product. So this is our day-to-day routine. So you would understand it. Second, if you look at this tomato ketchup bottle, right? This is a glass bottle, and that's how Heinz or any other ketchup bottle used to come in. But the problem with this bottle, primarily most of you would have faced it, is that when the ketchup becomes thick, it is very, very difficult to pour it in your utensil, right? So either you have to beat like this towards from the back of the tomato ketchup bottle so that you can remove upon it. So that's a problem which most of the consumers were facing. And what company did was they probably inverted the bottle around. So the two primary changes which they made was, one, they inverted the bottle. So that means even if the ketchup is thick, it would definitely settle down towards the top of the bottle. And second, they made it a plastic bottle so that you can squeeze it, right? Now, what is this, right? If you look at the example which I just presented to you, what has company tried to do? they only tried to change or modify the design a little bit so that they can solve a customer problem, right? So I'm sure all of you would have got this example because most of us use ketchup at home and we generally face this problem. But now if you see, the bottles are either inverted or they are plastic, so you can squeeze them easily. So it is very easily you can actually bring out the ketchup from the bottle. So now I think you can relate it as a customer when you are using the product, and also you can relate it to how company has changed the design from one problem to another. Or there's one more example which I can give you. In every home probably you use Harpic, right? Harpic is being used to clean your washrooms, right? Your pot is being used. Now earlier when Harpic brought in the bottle, the top of the bottle was straight, right? Nozzle was straight. But now if you look at, the nozzle is inverted like this, right? Because it didn't used to go at the places where the dirt is more. So then there was a problem in cleaning the pot, right? But then they changed the design, right? And actually made it more convenient to the consumers. So now what comes to your mind when you first hear the word design, right? I think in most of your mind, many products would come, right? A phone design, right? Or maybe a slide changer design, or there can be a pen design, right? There is iPod in front of you, iPhone, car designs, right? So a lot of things would come to your mind, but they largely would be coming as something which is very innovative and right, something which is very, very innovative, right? So that probably would come to your mind when you think about it. Or look at the very popular Coke bottle, right? And you probably would have heard, you see there are a lot of stripes on the Coke bottle. How was it created? Right? It was created from the fruit cocoa pod. You can see that that's an exotic herb, probably which the design was taken from there and brought into the bottle. And see, 100 years has passed, but then probably the bottle design has not changed. So such a beautiful design and such a popular design, how it has been brought in from here. So a lot of designs might be coming to your mind, something which products which you might be using regularly. But let me tell you, design is not only a product, right? It is not only a product, or it's not only a physical product that comes to your hand, but it is also related to services. For example, online banking. Earlier, you used to go to bank, you have a passbook, you withdraw money from there. But now, from I think 2-3 years, probably most of you would have stopped going bank also, because you do online banking, you do online purchase. That online banking is also a product. WhatsApp is also a product. Facebook is a product, right? You mark attendance is a product, right? That's a system. Communication, you see teaser ads, you see skywriting, you would have seen in cricket matches. Now there is a very popular skywriting advertisement coming. Mobile ads, sign languages, right? User interface, user experience, hypergroups, all these are mode of communication, but then they are design in themselves, right? They are design. Interaction, telephone, mobile, virtual groups, video conferencing, online tuitions. You would have seen in last 2 years during pandemic, probably a lot of companies have started, tech companies have started bringing in models where the training and coaching is happening at the home. So what is that? That probably is a product. Or entertainment, mobile movies, right? How do you see movies these days? Netflix probably is one of the most popular, where you probably must be going. Disney Hotstar, another, right? So all these things which I'm talking about to you, they are not only physical products, but they are technology oriented products or service oriented products. So the definition of a product when we talk about physical thing is only very limited. So when we talk from the perspective of design thinking, all these includes design thinking, right? So you need to think about it. So coming back to what is design, people confuse it only with the looks, that means aesthetics, but then it is not aesthetics, right? It is not a product also, which I've just talked to you, right? It can be a service, it can be a technology, You write a program and it's a design, but it's not a product ultimately. You cannot touch it. So for me, design is a solution, right? Why I am saying that design is a solution. Remember the first slide I talked about. You had a problem with the ketchup, you had to beat the bottle, only then ketchup used to come out, but company thought of inverting the bottle upside down and making it plastic so that you can squeeze it. So what did they do? That design actually gave you a solution, right? So that's what the definition we should take about design. It is a solution. So you can look at the mobile phone. Earlier, the landline phone that used to give us a solution, right? We used to talk about it, but then we cannot walk around. So then came in the cordless phone. The range was very less. Then came in mobile phone. Now you can go anywhere and around, but you have to carry a product. But tomorrow, there might be a design where probably you might have a chip inserted in your hand or wherever, and you think about a person and you can call him and talk to him without having the phone in your hand, right? So that's what the design is, a solution. You have a problem, but that design is giving you a solution, right? So that's how you should take the definition. I'll give you a small example, a story. Chrysler recalled around 10 lakh vehicles new design of a car, right? There was some problem with the car design. They made a gear shift, rocker switch gear shift into the car, and that had some problem. And because of that, they had to call 10 lakhs car back. Chrysler is a very popular company, but they had to call the cars back, right? Now, what was the problem? The gear used to shift. I hope most of you would know driving. It used to shift gear, but then the shifter, the knob which you held in your hands, that used to come back to the center position. So it is very difficult to make out whether the car is at the neutral position, at the parked position, or is it still in the same gear? So people used to get out of the car thinking it is parked, whereas it used to be not in gear or in neutral form, right? So it used to move. And there were 100 crashes and 40 injuries. A small design problem, look at that, right? So much of crash. But what did company do? This is the gear which you can see there. What did the company do? Company said, no, we have designed a wonderful design, technology-wise it's best, but then the problem is that the driver don't see at the indicator on the knob, plus they should read the manual very, very carefully. So they said, we will implement additional warning and you should read the owner manual. Right? That's what the reaction of the company was. They said, we have designed it very beautifully. So there is no problem with the design, but problem is more with the drivers, right? Then suddenly one day, I hope all of you would know this person, Star Trek actor Ranjan, he died. And the reason is same, don't read it. The reason was same. He came out of his car, assuming it is in the park mode. It was not. And he was standing in between car and the gate. Car rolled back and he got crushed between car and the gate. So then company probably, because there was a lot of reaction from the public, then the company realized that there is something which is problem. Now, what was the problem? Don't think it is very technical. The problem was the engineer says, we know how is the car working. I know how the gears in the car work, but I don't know how to drive. On the other hand, the driver says, I know to drive, but I don't know how the gear works. So engineer thinking from the engineering perspective, and the driver thinking from the application perspective, there is a gap between the two. So now there is the responsibility of the company to bridge this gap, and to bridge this gap, this is known as design thinking. Right? Very simple. Don't go into what is written there, but you just understand it from this example. Engineer said we are designing a best of the gears, right? Driver says I know to drive, but I don't come to know whether it is neutral, it is parked or not. So that means there is some problem with the design, because ultimately what is design meant for? Design is meant for providing a solution. So design thinking provides that solution. So now vada pav, for example, most of you would have heard of. How was vada pav created? In Mumbai, probably when people used to run from the train to the mills, so way back, right? So people wanted to have something to eat. But the person who created vada pav, he also thought on the same line, if people are rushing, so if can I give them something which they can hold in their hand, but that it's not a liquid, it doesn't get destroyed, so they can eat while they are running towards the mill. When they get down from the train, running towards the mill, I should give them something, and that's how this product was created. So ultimately, why was it created? To provide a solution to the people. So that's what is the primary objective of. So I'm giving you a lot of examples here. So what is the difference between design and art of design thinking? Is that design thinking is not, don't think that something design word comes, so that is the responsibility of the designers, or it is the responsibility of the artists. So it is not. It is the responsibility of everything, everyone, but in a way to create it from the perspective of solving the need of a person. That's what it is required for. That's all. So it's a misnomer that if we think about that design thinking has something to do with the designers, something to do with the artists, something to do with somebody who is very creative. No, it is not, nothing like that, right? So what is design thinking? It is just a creative problem solving technique. That's what it is. Nothing more than that. It is only a creative problem solving approach. That's what you should believe it to be. So more to do with the mindset of a person. You want just to provide a solution. Look at the another example. I'll give you a beautiful example here. You see there are people standing in the train, and you would relate it to when you see people standing in the bus. So when you want to get into the bus, most of the people try to stand closer to the door, right? When they stand closer to the door, they probably create rush, right? And they don't go inside. Conductor keeps on saying go inside, but they don't want to go inside. So what one of the person did was, he probably created a design on Monopoly, right? All of you would understand Monopoly. There's a very popular game, Monopoly. You might have played also. So this Monopoly game, so he created the floors in a way that when people entered the train, they started playing game on the floor, that I want to earn more. And the more you enter inside, you get higher volumes, you get higher. So ultimately you find people going inside the train, sitting at the place where they earn more, and it created a game kind of a situation in the train, and probably the rush was reduced. Now again, it's a simple technique of providing solutions to the people, right? So look at this now. I'll not again make it technical, but there are 5 stages of design thinking. I'll give you a lot of examples, and I'm sure you will enjoy those examples. So 1, empathize; 2, define; 3, ideate; 4, prototype; and 5 is something to do with, right, ultimately test it in the market, right? So let us see the first. Google Glass. All of you would know Google created a wonderful glass which you carry on your eyes, and it can record things, it can click pictures, it can do everything, but it was not successful. It was technologically a wonderful product, right? So what is that I'm talking about? I'm talking about empathize. First stage is empathize. Empathize is put yourself in the shoes of others. So when I want to develop a new product, what is that I'm developing the product for? For the consumers? Why would he wear a glass on his eyes? Because he want to click photographs. He don't have to carry another camera with him, right? He can actually record. But then it created a confusion in the minds of the person who was standing in front, that you are always recording me. So that means it, rather than creating a solution, it created a problem in the mind of the consumers. So even after being wonderful product, it was not accepted because it was not thought from the consumer's perspective. So I was not able to empathize. I was not able to put myself in the other person's shoes that why will he use this product. Look at another example now. This is Bose audio glasses. Right? What does it mean? That when you wear this is a Bluetooth specs and it has a speaker here which is close to your ears. So if you connect this glasses with your phone, you can listen to the music along with your sunglasses. Now here, what is the solution provided? Why this was accepted by the consumers is that it reduced carrying additional earbuds. You don't need to have wired or you don't need to have earbuds to listen to the music, but when you are traveling around, you can put on your sunglasses. It solved your purpose of eyeglasses as well as you can listen to the music. So here a solution was provided, a product was reduced, right? Earbud, you don't need an earbuds now. So that's why this was accepted more, right? Another example, all of you might be using this remote, right? How many buttons do you use when you use a mobile phone? Primarily you use 4 buttons, largely. Not more than 4 or 6, 7 buttons you would probably use, right? Then what is this remote created for? Because it has been created by an engineer who believes that I have given hundreds of the features in this mobile phone, but does the consumer need it? No. So that means it's not required. What did Apple do? What did MI do? They created a beautiful remote with only 4 to 6 buttons, right? Everything can be done through these buttons also. So simplifying the life of a consumer, giving him solutions, right? So why do I want to confuse? If I am getting confused, the consumer would also get confused. So let me empathize with him. Let me understand what problem he's facing and then give him some solutions. Embraced warmer, right? Kids used to die in the rural areas because they didn't have hospital treatments. Keeping the kid in a warmer required thousands of rupees. But then a company created a warmer which was very, very cheap, and probably it was available in all the rural hospitals also, so that probably kids can be kept warm and they would live longer. Again, a solution from the perspective of consumer, right? Thinking from the consumer's perspective. Another beautiful example. I hope all of you know this is an MRI machine, and even if the big people go inside it, it is horrifying, right? So when kids used to be taken inside the MRI machine, they used to be horrified, and it was difficult for the doctors to actually take the readings and make them go inside. So one of the design thinkers, like me and you, they thought of that why not create a game around it. So they created this as a train, and the train comes from outside, goes directly into the cave, and the kids believe that I am playing a game, whereas this scanning was to be done. So again, a solution from the perspective of consumers, right? So this way, probably a lot of solutions can be provided. When COVID came, 3 feet, right, 6 feet duri, right? It is very important. So then LPU student created a kavach. You can wear it, and when somebody comes closer to 6, it used to beep. Plus, it also used to read your body temperature. So a student created it. So you don't need an artist, you don't need to be an engineer to think from what consumer needs. So you can create such kind of things, right? So only thing required is observe and understand, observe the things, where is the consumer facing problem, and then create a beautiful product for it, right? So that's how, let us say all of you are using pen, right? But when we use with the pen, this 2 things used to pain a lot, right? So what did companies do? They created a small rubber here. So that's again a solution from the design thinking perspective. Empathize. If I am facing this problem, he must also be facing the problem. Let me give him a solution. Second stage, define, right? So you try to relate to the problem, what kind of problems people are facing, right? Now you define that problem more. And I'll give you a story of defining, though this is all theory, you can probably skip it, but then you need to have a clear understanding of what the problem is. And the story is about people use datun in the village, right? All of you would know it because in India, this is very common. We use datun in rural areas. And when Colgate wanted to sell their toothpaste in the rural areas, people did not accept it, right? So Colgate was a little confused that why I'm giving them a wonderful solution. They can take care of their teeth, right, bad breath and everything, but still people don't want to buy it. So what can be the reason? The reason is, one, this was free. So why do I pay money for something? And second thing, which was more important, that when you used to have datun, you don't need water. And it is not frothy. It doesn't create froth around in your mouth. Then the people can take this and they can move around. They can take their kettles around. They can go to washroom. They can go to their in-laws' house. They can go anywhere, talk to people. Because when you talk to people with datun, it doesn't look bad. But when you talk to people with the toothpaste or froth, it used to look bad. And you need to have water so that you can clean your mouth, right? So there were a lot of challenges which Colgate did not realize that there is a problem, right? But when they started defining the problem, then they identified, yes, this is the problem. One, it is free. Second, it doesn't need water. Third, that means people can go around, sit at the chopal, gossip with each other, but along with that, they can do datun also, right? So they identified a lot of problem and they came out with a solution. They said, okay, we'll create a powder. So they created Colgate powder, right? So you can take it in your hand, you can brush your teeth, water is not required, you can go anywhere around. But later on, when people got habitual, they also shifted to the toothpaste also. So that's how you need to define the complete problem, and then you come to the solution. Solution comes at the end, but you need to define the entire problem. Third stage, ideate. So you understood the problem, then you defined the problem very clearly. Now you are ideating. That means now what solution do I give to the people, right? So ideate is where you are trying to design a solution for the people. And there are n number of techniques for designing a problem solution, but then I'm not talking about that today. Look at this. There is a place there and the person need to go to that place. What can he do? He can create a bridge and cross it, right? Or he can have a balloon, right? And then you can fly and do that. So that means what I'm trying to tell you is, for one single problem, you probably have A solution, B solution, then you can create C, D, many solutions to it, right? So that is the problem, right? Now look at this. What do you see here? This is an airport and this is a urinal and there is a fly sticker here. Now why is fly sticker required? Look at this. At Amsterdam airport, there was a lot of problem. There was urine spillage all around, right? But then there was another observation that men like to play with their urine stream. So then when the sticker was fixed in the urinal, the men tried to actually blow away this fly using their urine stream. So that reduced the spillage. And look at that. If you can look at the statistics given here, it talks about it talks about what is the kind of reduction, probably, right? 80% less spillage, right? And 20% cost was reduced. In India, probably we don't think in this way because here the labor is cheap. You can have sweepers, but in Amsterdam, where people in developed countries, the labor is very, very costly. So they thought of doing it, right? But I'm just thinking, look at the creative solution being provided, right? And ultimately, it results into a business. Now, this is a very creative solution. So what is creativity, right? Left brain and right brain, all of you probably would understand. So your left brain is more logical, whereas your right brain is more creative. So when the left brain doesn't give you solution, sorry, the right brain starts giving you the solution. But you have to use that right brain. For example, if I ask you this question, make the above equation true by adding just one line. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is equals to 550. Now your left brain is saying, no, it is not possible, because 5 plus 5 plus 5 is only 15. It cannot be 550, right? But your right brain says, no, there is a solution to it. I have said use one line, right? So I use the line in this way. So it becomes 545 plus 5 is equals to 550. So it's not a logical solution, but it has given you a solution. So that's how you have to deliberately think about the solutions, right? That's how the mind works. Creativity again, look at this. There was a truck stuck under the bridge, and people were trying to figure out how to push this truck forward or pull this truck forward. But then a normal stranger passing by just said that please remove some air out of the tire. The truck would go down and then you can pull it forward. A simple solution. So, but then it's a creative solution, right? That's how you need to provide a lot of solutions. So when we want to provide solution, there are many ways of doing it. So I'll not use any other way, but then I'll just give you an example of Scamper. For example, if you look at a car example, right? You want to innovate in car. What can you do? You can substitute the driver with artificial intelligence, so driverless car. You can combine a scooter with car. You can rearrange a car, that means foldable car. You can create a vehicle and bird wing, so door opens up like a bird wings, right? You put solar car, you put modify it. So that means every word actually of Scamper is actually giving you an idea of innovation in the car, and that's how it is being done. Somebody might have thought of that I want to modify the car. Can there be a car without a driver? So the Tesla says, yes, why cannot be there a car? I can give you a car which is a driverless car, right? So this is how all these techniques can be used to change the design, but ultimately provide a solution to the consumer. Or look at the solution which is known as frugal innovation, right? Frugal again means people don't have money, so you need to give them a solution which is low cost, right? In small money you can give them low cost. For example, Tata Nano was a low cost solution for people who don't have money, right? Similarly, don't get confused with it, but then look at this example which is in front of you. This is a mitti cooled refrigerator. There is a very known person who created a refrigerator out of clay for people who don't want to either consume more electricity or for the areas where there is no electricity. So he created a refrigerator. It's something which is in front of you. It is a refrigerator. It keeps the vegetables and fruits cool. A low cost solution. So it's a frugal solution. So somebody, these are new product ideas, right? That's what the topic is, design thinking for new product development or modifying the product. Now this idea did not come from an engineer from a reputed university, but this came from a person whose business was creating utensils out of clay. So he created this refrigerator, right? So that's what is frugal innovation or cheap solutions, right? General Electric created a portable ECG machine. So when the people from the rural areas cannot travel to the hospitals, the doctors can travel to the rural areas with that portable ECG machine. Or telescope is very big device, but this man created a $1 kind of telescope with one paper, and it can be used as a telescope. So that means solution for everyone. It is not only the rich people who can buy the solution or a product, but then we should think from the perspective of the people who don't have money and they want to have the product, right? So that kind of a problem. Look at this. In one of the African countries, there was a problem where there were tigers and they used to attack on the cows, and the person thought of that when you create eyes, they drew eyes on the cow's back, and probably when lion used to come from back, he is mistaken them for as an eyes, and he generally doesn't attack when there is an eye contact. They always attack from the back. Creative solution, right? Ultimately, there has to be a solution. Solution doesn't mean only technology. Solution doesn't only mean products. Solution doesn't only mean that. That's what I'm from the very beginning. I'm just trying to tell you that design only means solution. How it doesn't matter. Now prototype. That means now you have thought of ideas. What kind of solutions can be there, right? You started with understanding the problem. You defined that problem very well. You created solutions. Now you want to create a prototype, right? How do I create a prototype for a product which is in my mind or which I am thinking about, right? So you look at, it's a stage where a model is designed. So you are now from a very abstract thinking in your mind, you are bringing it down to product category now. Look at this. If a bag has to be designed, it is first designed with a paper. Even the mobile phone screens which you have, all those can be designed on the papers first. That's how design thinking works. Look at this. How should the watch look like? A prototype is being designed using paper. How the mobile phone screens are created, they are being designed on the paper. So that's what is known as prototype. You don't want to create an actual product because actual product is costly. So you use something which is inexpensive and create a prototype out of it, right? Look at this. This product is very, very popular on, you can go and search it on Amazon, you will find it. You can put it on the wall and you can hang your keys, bracelets, right, all creams and everything on it. How was it created? What kind of prototype was created for it, right? Look at this. So they have some football pieces lying down and they had a piece. These were the first prototypes created for this product. So prototype is only a model so that you can relate to it. This is how it would look like. This is how something it would look like. So before going in for actual production of the product, you create these prototypes, right? I hope this example is giving you clearer understanding. Look at this now. This is another good product from a company where you can wear it on your finger. There is a blade here, and when the boxes come in, you need to tear the tape, so you can tear this tape very easily. So what was the prototype created earlier before this product was developed? You use this kind of a material from a glove. You cut the glove finger, added a cutter to it, and then when this model was approved by the designers, then only this product was created at the end. So first prototype is created, then we move on to the final product, right? I hope it's clear. So you started with understanding the problem, you defined that problem very well, you created solutions, you created a model out of it. Now when you created a model out of it, you need to test whether the consumers would like it or they would not like it, right? So let me give you an example. Go back around 20 years back, there was no juice in the market. Maaza was the first packed fruit juice which came into the, right? Fruity, if you remember, Fruity was another, and Maaza, right? These were the one early. But when they created this product, they wanted to see whether the people would understand or not. So they went to the Delhi market. They asked the people to take this product, but then shopkeepers said, "Who will buy it? There is no demand in the market." So they went to the cigarette shop owners, right? They said, "You keep it for free, try to sell it. If it sells, you ask for us the order, and we will not take money from you for this product. So take it for free," right? That's how they agreed. But the demand which this product created in the market, in Delhi market, company was convinced, and within a month they rolled out this product throughout the country. So that is what is known as testing. Before you go in for full-scale production of the product, you test it in the market, whether people would like it or not, right? And then you roll out it in the market. So probably this was the first part of my presentation today, where I was talking about design thinking for new product development. And I'm sure through the steps which I used and the examples I gave, probably it is clear to you now that how a new product is developed using design thinking, the 5 steps of design thinking, and that's how the new product is actually brought in the market. It is not only about new product, but the changes in the product also comes because of that, right? Let us say a briefcase without tires, then briefcase came with the tires. So that's the upgradation in the product, right? So let us say WhatsApp. Now we can pay money also through WhatsApp, right? So that's a addition to the design. Somebody would have thought of this, right? So everything, these solutions which are coming to you, they are probably all design thinkers solution. You had to post your pictures separately on Instagram, then Facebook, then Twitter. Now you can paste it at once and you can share it on all the platforms at one go, right? So design thinking, providing solutions to the consumer continually, right? Now I will take few minutes of your time and then I'll take questions to just briefly introduce the school where I am from. It's a Mittal School of Business of lovely professional university, and we were established in 2001. And just yesterday, Government of India has announced the ranking for 2022, and we have been ranked 34. We were ranked 37 last year, but this year we have been upgraded to 34, and that's a very good news for us. But this is a very, very authentic ranking by Government of India. Then there's another ranking which have ranked us globally in the band of 500 to 600. Then Outlook Eye Care magazine have ranked us as #1 in Punjab, and accreditation from US has accredited our all programs, and this should give you a confidence that all our programs are in tune with the curriculum, global curriculum, right? We offer more than 25 programs, 45 students from all over the world. We have 346 students from 29 countries, right, international, and then 40% of our core faculty is with industry experience, and 60% faculty members are PhD, right? So that's a brief about the school, and then quickly, we offer programs in 3 streams. One is management, commerce, and then we have economics, right? These are the 3 areas we offer programs in. And we offer programs, PG programs and undergraduate programs from PhD. And if you have a long list, MBA, MBA honors, business analytics, financial analytics, right? Whichever area you are interested in, that's the reason we have created these programs. I was just talking about design thinking, right? Offer product in terms of providing solutions to the people. Now let us say if you want to do your program in supply chain, why should you go in for MBA program, which is a very generic program, right? You should think about only supply chain, right? So that's how we have created these programs. And then there are programs which probably have international transfer also, 1 year in India, 1 year abroad. Similarly, in commerce, we have PhD and MCom. In economics, we have PhD and MSc honors economics. Similarly, in undergraduate programs, again, we have programs in management, which is BBA, BBA honors, BBA financial markets. Look at the upcoming technologies, BBA blockchain, right? The entire world is now talking about cryptocurrencies, blockchains, right? So we have a program. If somebody is interested in that, he can make his career in this field. Then 2+2 option, you can do 2 years in India and 2 years abroad. Similarly, BCom, here also you can see a program which is financial process automation, right? Or 2+2 years in India, 2 abroad, right? And in economics also BSc honors and MSc honors. So it's a lot of program, but then again designed to keeping in mind the requirements of the students, because ultimately student is coming here to make a career. Which field he wants to make a career, he can choose the program from that field rather than choosing a very generic program. That's the reason we are offering these programs. Now we have industry tie-ups, collaborations, right? And if you look at companies like KPMG, you would have heard of this is world's best 4 companies in consulting, right? IMA is another US association which probably gives you certifications of that country, but then you are being prepared here and you can make a global career, right? So Digital Marketing Institute, SHRM, Futurance, Safe Educate, all these are industry tie-ups, National Stock Exchange, which design the program in collaboration and probably make you more industry ready, right? Then some of our core strengths are in terms of diversity. I told you, a lot of international students, students from all part of the country. Then blended learning, right? Hybrid teaching. You can do a lot of MOOCs, online certifications. Then a lot of alumni keep on coming from all over the world and interacting with you, give you exposure. We prepare you for decision making in uncertainty. Last 2 years they're probably very, very uncertain, but then students are prepared for those things using simulation, case studies, dilemmas, role plays. All these are pedagogies. For business, commerce, and economics, the way medical college have a hospital, for us industry is our our hospital, right? Industry is our laboratory. So these are the number of students who have done live projects with the industry like Bikaji, Britannia, Decathlon, Outlook, Capgemini. Then a lot of industry people keep on coming and interacting with all. A lot of conferences are being organized. These are the most recent one. I've just highlighted 2 here. A lot of industry people keep on coming. In last 1 term, we have done more than 56 guest lectures, and you can look at the people from countries like Turkey, US, right? Social sectors. Then he is known as father of rural marketing, again social sector. You must be knowing her, very popular social sector speaker, right? Then from US, United States again, Australia, and all these are probably in the last 1 year's time, which I've just mentioned here, right? So just an example for you. There are a lot of student clubs, a lot of student organizations are there, which would give you a lot of exposure and prepare you for careers around, right? These kind of campaigns are being designed by the students, right? Then people who have an idea in their mind, we have a dedicated startup school here, which actually would help you in starting the venture on the campus. Then most of the students come here to make a career, want to find jobs, and you can look at the kind of companies I mentioned here. But let me tell you, more than 400 companies visited for only management students at LPU for 2022 passing out batch. So this should give you a confidence that probably there are a lot of recruiters coming. Anybody who has the desire to join a corporate would probably get a job here, right? So thank you very much. But then I am here if you have any questions, or towards the end, if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This was very impactful presentation by you, and you have bonded us with your visionary thoughts. And audience, thank you so much for your patience and participation. I'm sure you must have upgraded your skills by the inputs and learning shared by Dr. Rajesh Verma. So, sir, thank you so much. And yes, sir, we have few queries from our attendees. So, with your permission, we'll take up those queries. So, sir, there is an attendee, Gursimranjit Singh. He wants to know that with this design thinking, they can generate a lot of ideas. But how LPU will facilitate to put those ideas in real life?
Wonderful. I think it's a very, very good question. Very related to the theme of the webinar also.
Yes.
I told you there are 2-3 ways of looking at it. One is, if you have a very clear-cut idea and you want to start your own venture, probably we will train you the design thinking concept which I talked about. These are being used in the courses here, right? For example, we are talking about design thinking course here, or we are talking about entrepreneurship development course here. Those courses would actually help you in designing that product and taking it to the market. So that means in one way we are facilitating you to start a venture on the campus, and that can also be funded. If you have an idea and you pitch it to us or you pitch it to the venture capitalist, we would be happy to invest in that, right? So that's one way of looking at it. Another is, if you have an idea, you want to put in solutions, those solutions need to reach to the corporates. So I am bringing corporates here who have problems through live projects, and you probably are pitching in and providing solutions to those corporates using the design thinking principles again, right? So and these projects are paid, right? And these projects are paid, some are not paid, but they are a consultancy based project also. So if I am doing a consultancy with a company and they are looking for providing a solution to a new product which they are developing, I am charging them, and if the students working with me, they also get paid accordingly, right? So there are many ways in which you will put your ideas into implementation, but then you should have an idea and you should be willing to actually work on those. But there are n number of avenues the way you can put forward your ideas and you can put them into practice.
Definitely, sir. And sir, you have shared that in your presentation as well, that many students, they have started their entrepreneurship idea in the university as well as outside the university. So moving on to the next query. So another query is from Sahiba. She wants to know that what design thinking can help in revamping the business.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
So there's another query. Denny wants to know that how design thinking can help in revamping the business.
Revamping the business, right? That's what you say? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Again, a very good question. You see, why do you see Akash would have tied up with Byju's now? Akash Coaching Institute, everybody, I'm taking this example because all of you would understand it, right? Akash is a coaching institute, but it's a physical coaching institute. But during pandemic, probably you found that suddenly these coaching institutions were out of business, right? But there were another business model which was coming up, and that business model was tech companies, right? And Byju is one of the biggest tech company now in India. So Akash would have seen the future, that there is a future for tech companies, and they came together, and that's how they are revamping their existing model. Similarly, most of the companies which were earlier selling own products only in shops or in physical markets, they all are now selling their products in the online mode. Why? Just because I told you they want to provide convenience to the consumers. I don't want to go out. At the midnight, I want to have something, I want to order something. There should be some convenience which would help me in ordering that product. And e-commerce companies gave me that feature, right? Now, e-commerce companies giving a feature, but the other companies which are only selling in the shop, they would go out of the business. So they also need to revamp themselves. And why they're revamping, again, design thinking principle would be applied. So all businesses to sustain and to grow would have to use the design thinking principles.
Definitely, I completely agree with you. So, sir, we'll take up last but not the least question, a very interesting query from attending Mariam. She wants to know that we will design a product, but to sell it or earn from it, we need good personality and good communication skills. So, how LPU, so how being an LPU will upgrade our personality?
Right. Good question again. Now look at this, right? You said you have created a wonderful product, and it's a management principle also that even if you create best of the world's product, but if you're not able to sell it, you would be out of the business. And a very typical example is your who created digital camera, right? The company which created digital camera was Kodak. But Kodak at that time thought that people would print photographs, put in the album. So they focused only on creating Kodak films. And they kept on selling Kodak films, Kodak films, Kodak films. Whereas the consumer was moving towards that I don't want to store my photographs in the album. I want to share my photographs. So they were moving towards digital. So where is Kodak now? Kodak is out of business. So even after creating a wonderful product of digital camera, they probably did not understand its value, nor they were able to sell it. So once you create a wonderful product, you need a good communication skill to pass on that message to the world, right? And you need to understand how to communicate. Plus, you don't, when I say personality or communication, it's an overall package, right? It cannot be only communication. If I can only communicate, I don't understand your needs, I don't understand what you want, then also I would not be able to sell it. So here, starting from the first module, starting from the first semester, there would be a lot of focus on your spoken English. There would be a lot of focus on pitching your ideas to the others, making presentations in the class, because if you cannot convince the student in the class, you cannot convince people outside the class. So there is a lot of focus starting from the first semester till the end. We would actually make you present a lot of ideas in front of everybody, and that would give you that confidence that if you have a good product idea, you can probably be able to sell it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for resolving all the queries of our attendees. And now we'll quickly move to our admission expert, Mr. Pankaj Vij. So, sir, over to you for the admission part of the university. So, you're not audible.
Audible now?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, great. I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir, it is.
Great. So I'll just start off with my part of the presentation. And as Professor Saab just told about the design thinking and all the similes that were given, they were a beautiful understanding of how to find solutions and how to market products and things like that. This is what we'd be focusing on when you come to the university. But when you come to the university, probably this is what you can expect when you come to the university. Previous 2 years have been ruined because of pandemic, but things are looking better now. And the university, when the students come to the university, this is what you can expect. I'm starting on a very positive note that Tokyo Olympics had to happen in the year 2020, but they happened in 2021, and some of our brave hearts participated in the Olympics. You name the likes of Bajrang Punia, the Neeraj Chopras, the Manpreet Singhs, all of them are LPU students. So LPU is not only known for creating academicians, researchers, but it is also known to create sports people of repute now. On that note, allow me to go ahead. So campus life, this is what you can expect when you come to the campus. The year was 2019 and we inaugurated, or we hosted, the 106th edition of the Indian Science Congress. We had His Holiness the Dalai Lama visiting the campus, and he gave away degrees in one of the convocation ceremonies. Similarly, two former presidents of India and Afghanistan sharing the same stage, giving away degrees to the students in yet another convocation ceremony. Thereafter, we had the late Finance Minister of India, Shri Arun Jaitley ji, who came to the campus a few years back. He started a startup school at LPU. Gauhar Gopal Das, not only politicians, but people like who are spiritual gurus, they also come to the campus and they give away live sermons to the students, to the faculty, to the parents, and everybody. Well, these are also the people who come to the campus, the real life heroes or the real heroes of Bollywood. They also throng the campus, not just to sing and dance, but also to interact with students and share their life experiences. MS Dhoni is no exception to this list. Talking about infrastructure once again is a very integral part of education. What you're seeing right now on this on your screen is a marvel of a building, 14 blocks joined back to back, housing the central library of the university. This is the auditorium, a capacity of 2,500 people in single go. At the heart of the campus is a 600-acre mammoth campus. At the heart of the campus, we have got a mall. This is called the University Mall, the Uni Mall. Let me take you inside it. This is the inside of the mall. It's got Providence stores. It's got stores where students can purchase their stuff. Libraries. This is the glimpse of the library. We have got a library, central library, and then we have got a library in every department, and all these libraries are automated libraries. Recreational facilities are very important. Recreational facilities are within the university campus. This is the bowling alley that you're watching right now on your screen. Followed by that, if you're a health freak, then we have got the gymnasium, which has got international trainers of repute in it. God forbid any student falls ill, but if somebody falls ill, we are ready with the university hospital within the university. It's a 25-bedder hospital with medical doctor, resident medical doctors, staffs, and even a dental chair to the students' disposal. What you're seeing right now is the aerial view of our indoor sports complex, and the indoor sports complex, let me take you inside it. We have got an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It's an all-weather swimming pool that we have got. Then you name a court, you get it. We've got a badminton court, we've got basketball courts, we've got volleyball courts. So we've got all sorts of sporting facility available in this indoor sports complex. Even a shooting range at your disposal. That's a panoramic view of the university itself, a night vision of the university. Let me just take you to our website. This is our website, the official website. Now, if you want to search a program, say when you want to search a program called MBA, you go to admissions. In admissions, MBA would be found after graduation. Anybody wants to search after 12th program needs to go over here. After graduation, it will be over here. After 10th, this diploma program would be over here. After post-graduation, that means doctorate programs would be here. So you can choose the program of your choice. If I want to search a program in which I want to find the eligibility of the program, the fee structure, and the scholarships, then say, for example, let's take an instance. I want to know something about the MBA program. So I go to after graduation program, regular program, and I want to move to MBA. I want to search the MBA program. So the page takes me to the array of disciplines that we are offering, in which I go to management. In management, I go to MBA. In MBA, I just need to scroll a little bit. So I scroll up it. It gives me the eligibility of the program. Eligibility of the program is, just for instance, the eligibility of the program is, just give me a moment. So we are at the eligibility of the program. The eligibility of the program says pass with 55% marks in aggregate in bachelor's, any discipline or equivalent subject to qualifying LPU NEST or CAT-MAT-ZAT or any kind of a national exam plus interview. So the prerequisite is 55% marks with LPU NEST or CAT-MAT, that is a national level test. So that's the eligibility criteria. Moving on to the fee structure, I just click it over here on the top, and it takes me to the fee structure. The fee structure of the program is 1,90,000 per semester, but that's not the final fee. We have got a number of scholarships that we are offering. If a student has got 80 to 89.99% of marks in 12th or 70 to 79.99 in graduation, it's one and the same thing. Or a student is in category 3 of our LPU NEST test, which I told you earlier, there's a scholarship of 28%. The fee goes down to 1,36,800. Similarly, anybody having marks between 90 to 94.99 in 12th or 80 to 89.99 in graduation, or a student is amongst the cutoff 2 of our LPU NEST exam, there's a 38% scholarship. Fee goes down to 1,17,800. And the best scholarship in this cadre would be 95 or above in 12th, 90 or above in graduation, or category 1 of our LPU NEST exam. There's a 48% scholarship and the fee goes down to 98,800. Similarly, there are other scholarships that we are offering. Like we have talked about scholarship on the basis of previous 2 qualifications, LPU NEST, national level test, and the scholarships are also available on the basis of people venturing into startups or entrepreneurship. Similarly, we have got students who are maybe from the humble background, not economically very well off, no need to worry. We have got need-based scholarships for them. If somebody's father or mother is working with the defense forces, then we have got some scholarships or financial aids for them as well. This basically stands for reduction in fee, so certain percentage of fee is reduced. And God forbid if somebody is an orphan child or is a disabled student, then we have got scholarships for them as well. So a whole lot of gambit of scholarships that we are offering in the MBA program. If you want to talk to our representatives, if you want to visit us, if you want to write to us, you can always visit us on www.lpu.in, the demo that I was giving you. You can write to us on admissions@lpu.co.in, and you can always talk to us on 01824517000. So you can take a snapshot of this particular slide and keep these informations handy. if you want to visit us, if you want to write to us, or if you want to speak to us, these are the details that you need to follow. I guess that's all from my side. I hope the information was useful for all the students. Back to you, Ruby.
Definitely, sir. Very useful information and detailed information about the admission process for all the attendees. And so with this, sir, we'll conclude our today's webinar. So that's all for today. Thank you, attendees, for sparing and participating in today's webinar. We appreciate you all for being here, and I believe your knowledge has been enriched by today's webinar. So also, I would like to express my appreciation to the experts for their valuable contribution on today's topic, that is design thinking for product development. And I'm sure your years of research, your years of experience will definitely help the audience to choose the right path in the admissions. So until next time, I Ruby Gill finally sign off the session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.